Hello, this is Neve with the Rainbow Cauldron, and this is your full moon reading for the full moon that was actually last night. Sorry it's late. Last night was October 8th. Today's obviously the 9th, 2014, and the moon was in Aries last night. So, because this is a day late, the beginning card is the three cards over here represent the full moon to the new moon, and then from the new moon to the next full moon. So the first card is the energies that are currently about us right now, currently going on here. All right, and as always, I've been using the Book of Shadows as Above deck for my full moon readings. And okay, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull these cards. Oh, and I forgot, as um, usual, I have a moon incense here, and I have my amethyst geode block here, and on top of that, I just, these two stones sort of called out to me, so I put them on here. I have a tiger's eye and a snowflake obsidian. Snowflake obsidian has a lot. Um, it helps to release some negative energy. I kind of think about these splotches of snowflakes um, catching the negative energy. You know what I mean? Almost like a dream catcher sort of a thing. And that's how I always kind of view a snowflake obsidian. It kind of catches the negativity. And then the tiger's eye just kind of came out to me, and that I had a feeling that it really represented a sort of clear, I don't want to say communication, but like clear thought, um, clear knowledge, knowing where you're going, that sort of feeling. And that's sort of what I thought about when I grabbed this tiger's eye. So that's why these are here. Okay, so now I will pull the cards. All right, so the first three cards are from the full moon, which was last night, to the new moon. And we have the fire, excuse me, three of fire. And this deck is pretty interesting because the cards themselves, the meanings don't quite line up. I mean, they're very similar to the traditional tarot deck meanings, but it's like a completely different perspective, sort of. Like in this instance, we have Venus, the goddess, and the planet representing this whole suit, the suit of fire, which would normally be wands. Um, is represented by planets and the corresponding deities in this deck, and um, it and I just find that their interpretation, when I read through the book that came with this, their interpretation of these is very interesting. Like I keep the original meaning in mind, but the meanings of the images and the stories behind it are a little bit different. So it's quite interesting. Anyway, and then after that we have the Nine of Air, which is represented by runes. The suit of air in this deck is represented by different forms of divination. This one is represented by runes. We have a pile of runes right there next to um, uh, the world tree. And there we go. And then we have the Maiden of Air, which is a knight in these decks. The page in this deck is called like the element of air or element of earth. Then the knight is the maiden, the queen is the mother, and the king is the crone. Okay, and so from the new moon to the next full moon, we have Five of Water, and this is Bellona, the in a Etruscan goddess of war. Okay, and then we have Crone of Earth. And finally, we have the Ace of Water. Okay, so with the Three of Fire, we have Venus, as I said. And of course, when you think of Venus, the goddess, um, you think of love, and that's usually because she's the goddess of love and beauty. But what I find interesting about this deck's interpretation is that they're really talking about more attraction and coming together, unity, working together with like-minded people, and that makes sense. The three of fire, the three of wands in traditional decks. I'm imagining it in my head here, and usually it has a lot to do with looking to the future or looking on future prospects and things like that. And combining that with the meaning here, which has a lot to do with coming together, an attraction, mutual attraction, working together um, for a common goal, a sort of unity, that it makes, combining those meanings, it really has a feeling of working together with people in a positive direction and for a like-minded goal. And that's what I get here. Now, we move on to the Nine of Air, and it's a little bit of a shift here. There's the story here, the scene shows the story of Odin sacrificing himself at the World Tree in order to gain deeper wisdom, true wisdom. Uh, and what this card is really saying is that there's a deeper meaning going on, but it's not going to be discovered until something is until it's not. It'll be discovered, but at a cost. There's a sacrifice to be made. There's something to give up, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's a deeper knowledge and understanding, deeper meaning, and that's what the Nine of Air is saying. All right, now we here with these two cards, I'm seeing these as being very connected. The the one right before the new moon and the new moon card. Um, Here with the Maiden of Air, and as I said, it's the night. I get a feeling from this that well, I mean, the traditional meaning of the Knight of Swords, that's represented by air, is a sort of running headlong into something, kind of having this one track mind and really just going full speed into it. But nights, and there's this energy here that we're acting based on something we're hearing, and I get that feeling from these birds here, and I feel like these birds are giving her information, a sort of hearing news from a little birdie. A little birdie told me this, and we're acting on it. Hold on, my thing needs to be popped. There we go. You know how that is with incense. Sometimes you gotta hit them a little bit so the stuff will fall. Anyway, so that's what I get from this. I get a sort of acting based on information that we're getting from others around us, maybe some gossip, and it's we're acting based on that gossip, and we're acting in a negative way, and that's what we see here with the Five of Water. Now, with the traditional Five of Cups, which is water, that card usually has a lot to do with grieving a loss, or going through a hard time, mourning after a traumatic experience, that sort of feeling. But with the Five of Water in this deck, this card makes me think a lot of the five of um, the Five of Wands or the Five of Swords, a sort of conflict card, um, arguing with others. And, um, this card is, we've got open communication here, and this card is closing off that communication. There's just, there's a lot of negativity with it, and a lot of anger, and it's emotionally charged anger. Um, and there's just not a lot of communication, and I feel that it's caused by whatever information may have been gossiped about, or may have been told to you by the voices around you, the little birdies, and there's a strong feeling of negativity about that, and a conflict with others, and not really listening to each other, a closed off communication. And that brings us to the crone of earth here. And she's a voice of reason. She's coming down in the harshness of winter. And here we are, this, we've come from hearing some negative information from those around us, and we're emotionally charged about that information. We're in conflict with others, but this person comes along in that darkest time there, and is really bringing a voice of wisdom and experience, and sort of puts a rest to that conflict. So where someone is coming around and will sort of put this information and the reaction to that information into perspective. And it does lead to a resolution of that. And this card, it may be connected to those, or it may be a little bit separate, but we have the Ace of Water here, the Ace of Cups, and it's represented by the Chalice and the Athame, which is in uh, Wiccan and pagan, Wiccan-esque pagan lore. The Chalice and Athame really represents the union of the god and goddess. So, um, what the Ace of Water here is showing is a promising relationship that has potential, and that's what we're experiencing here. Of course, it could be romantic, as what this represents here, and the Ace of Water often represents a pregnancy if that's in context, but it could easily be referring to a business partnership or a business relationships, or something like that, some sort of relationship that it's a promising and potential relationship that's bringing a level of fulfillment. So that may very well be related to the issue going on in these three cards, or it may be a new sort of energy coming about us. So there we go. So we're starting off the week with a positive working together. There's something we've got to give up to get to see some true wisdom here. Knowledge is gained easily, by reading and looking through things, but wisdom is something that goes deeper. And well, and I don't mean knowledge is easy to gain, because oftentimes it's not, but um, true wisdom, sometimes we have to sacrifice something, or go through something negative, or give up something to gain that true wisdom about something. And then with these three cards, we see some gossiping or some whispered information that is causing a very negative reaction from us or from the people around us. And it's kind of brought to a resolution by someone who is experienced and is really bringing a voice of reason here and calming the situation. Because Earth is very motherly, and here she is in a winter scene. That all the crone cards from this deck have a winter type theme. Um, and really shows an ending to things, but with strong wisdom and guidance. And with this being Earth, it's someone who cares about the people involved, and does it in a very caring, nurturing sort of way, but really brings a voice of reason. And we're ending this lunar month here with a positive relationship, how whatever context that relationship is, um, but a positive, promising um, relationship with a lot of potential. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Um, Tomorrow I am going to try to get that next week's weekly reading done. I apologize for that one taking so long and for this reading being a day late, with life, you know. But I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching, and blessed be.